Let's make a baby quilt using 2 tones of fabric. So I have this one's here, and that is it. That's all I'm going to use. I've chosen a baby quilt because I have this exactly correct square that's suitable for a baby quilt size. So rather than think about other ways to use up this batting, I'm just going to use some make it into a baby quilt. Taking my strips, I'm going to sew them in the layered orientation you see here. So starting with the color and then a light. The color that's going to work with this, and if you are to try this, now remember you can use this size for any size quilt. It doesn't have to be a baby quilt. But if you are going to decide on something like this, make sure you choose the contrasting colors. If you notice, my very colorful fabric here has lots of creams in it, so I'm pairing these together. So just 2 tones, that's all it's going to be. So I'm going to sew them together. Nest your seams quite easily because everything is aligned correctly after you cut, and all you need to do basically is just sew them down, making sure that your seams are nested and aligned correctly. And because of the pattern, it will nest quite easily as well. You don't have to fuss around with it. So that's my layout. I've alternated some strips in between. So I'm going to add some color to this. As much as it looks good and very neutral, because I'm thinking baby boy, baby girl, alright? I don't want to have or to add, you know, definite colors that represents baby boy or girl. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of color just to brighten it up, which still in the concept of baby boy, baby girl. So my quilting is done. I am going to self-bind, so I am going to trim away the batting, as you can see here, and then I'm going to fold this towards the end to cover it so that I have it as my binding. I mean, I have all of this excess fabric around anyway. I don't see the point in trimming it away to add a batting. So to make this project even much more faster completed, I'm going to do a self-binding. Alright, so I wanted to show you how to do the self-binding. So what I have done is went to the sewing machine and I've folded in the first fold. Alright, so you trim it away to the size or the width that you want, and then you're going to fold towards the edge, so edge to edge, and then you are going to fold over all the way down, and you will still be able to get your mitered corner here. Alright, so to get your mitered corner, you'd fold at the edges like so, and you fold over like so, and then using your other finger, if you've got another one somewhere tucked away, you fold over and you have your mitered corner. I'm going to try and see if I can hold that with a dot of a finger so you can see it there. Alright, so that is it basically, and you will continue. So again, what I did is just went to the ironing board and just did my first fold edge to edge. So what I'm going to do literally is go onto the sewing machine now, and as I fold, I would sew, because I've already given myself my first marker here where I'm going to fold over, so it's going to be a nice neat edge all the way around. To sew your binding, you will do the same as you usually done. Remember, I already showed you that it's already pressed and just to fold over. However, I'm using the edge of my feet here. I'm using my 1/4 inch feet just to keep me in line and so that my straight stitch line remains straight. Now, doing the binding this way saves you some time as well as saving fabric. Alright, so you don't have to cut fabric, and you can actually save about 2 steps to make the binding as well as to stitch it on. As long as you keep using your edge of your feet to keep you nice and straight, you're on to a winner. And even though I'm holding it at the back here, do be reminded that I'm not dragging it through. That is one of the things that makes your binding or the edge of your quilt not sit flush onto your table. I am just literally supporting the quilt when I hold it behind. So when you see me sewing like that, I'm just literally supporting so that it goes through that feet a lot more easily. So no pulling, don't pull it. It will just warp the edge of your quilt. Because remember, the quilt moves, doesn't it? So it's likely that's why I tend to do that. The machine material is smooth and the fabric is smooth, as well as the feet is smooth. So everything glides over, and so sometimes it tends to move. But just keep it on the edge and you'll be great. So we're coming up to the binding now. So I just want to show you how to do that in reality rather than just explain. I'm just trying to move a piece of thread there. Now, ideally, I've come a little bit too close. So what I'm going to do is take this out so that you can see what I'm doing better. So I'm going to fold it in like it already. So that's my first fold that'll be pressed. And I'm just going to tuck it under. So as I fold it in there, I'm just going to fold over the edge like so, just to give me sort of an L shape like that. And with the rest, which is what I was trying to explain, is to literally flip it on top now over, and you get your mitered corner like so. And all you're going to do literally is to use your thread with your needle, and you're going to literally put it back into where you actually stop. Because remember, I said I came a little bit too close. Ideally, I'll go a little bit further. when I say further, I will back up a little bit so that it is not too close to the end. And I'm just going to angle, so my needle is holding it down where it's supposed to be. I'm just going to angle it, the quilt, turn the quilt so that it's nice and straight. I'm just going to continue all the way down. And that is it, simply. So this is now completed and it measures 33 inches squared. What do you guys think of this simple baby quilt pattern? I must admit, I do like the way that I've made this block here very quick. That was a very quick block to make, I'll give you that. And the points match up so easily, it was effortless. I decided was to add some strips in between just to like make it cohesive in similar color tones, as well as add a beautiful bright border around, which I think works. It looks all right. It's a very neutral baby boy, baby girl. That's the ad I was going for. I didn't want to add too much pinks or blues, so it can be used, you know, it's kind of a cottagecore sort of leafy texture, visual appeal to it. So lots of leaves, you know, etc. to it, sort of a garden appeal. So that's the idea of the quilt, as well as the bag. Same sort of color tones in terms of that cottage core, you know, flower theme going on, but one neutral tone at the back. And I used white meandering quilting to get this done. Now I literally made this in a few hours. I started, I think it was about 8 o'clock this morning, and I stopped and went to the post office to post off some quilts and came back and got started. But it came about very quickly. And if you're looking for something like this to make a baby quilts are very quick to make. They come about very, very fast. They're not long-winded, they're a small size, and they're quite useful for using up batting. I mean, one of the main reasons was to use up the batting. The batting was this size, more or less. And then I used a self-binding technique, which I think worked out really lovely. My mitered corner, everything was done really quickly, to be honest. But if there's something that interests you and you'd like to get the pattern, it's in the description box down below, and you can make one using the same quick patchwork method that I used. Now, if you wanted to use this for a different technique, you can. In terms of a different size quilt, you can. It will work out really, really beautifully. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial for this neutral tone baby boy, baby girl quilt. Bye for now. Happy quilting, and I'll definitely see you